Here are the top 10 greatest Odyssey 2 games of all time, according to fans of the Odyssey 2, which is also known as Videopac. Number 10 is Frogger. This is one of the rare third-party titles for the system, and it only got released in Europe and Brazil. If you are used to the arcade or other home versions, you'll notice that this one has a big difference, in that the gameplay is divided between two separate screens, one for the highway and one for the river. Regardless, it's a good version of Frogger, and includes all the same enemies and obstacles as the other versions. Number 9 is Turtles. This is an arcade port. You have to scoot around the maze and touch the question marks, most of which will contain a baby turtle. When you find one, you have to take it to the house that appears. There are beetles patrolling the maze, and they are inside some of the question marks. Luckily, you have the ability to take a dump by pressing the button, and this will lay a turd on the screen, which will stop the beetles temporarily. Note, there are 2 Easter eggs hidden in the game. Look it up online if you want to know how to find them. Also noteworthy is the fact that the game utilizes the Odyssey 2 voice module to produce music during gameplay. So how did I come up with this list? I dug through the internet, including videos on YouTube, and found people rating Odyssey 2 games and talking about their favorite ones. I also asked my viewers on a community post what O2 games they liked the most. I created data using all these sources, and I did some analysis and came up with this list. My own opinion was not factored into the results, though I may use my own opinion to describe the games featured here today. I've done the same kind of analysis for other top 10 lists on this channel, though this one was extra challenging because not a lot of people talk about the Odyssey 2, and many who do dismiss the system due to its low graphical fidelity. But let me just say, if you are into Atari 2600 games, I think you'll find the O2 library very interesting, and it's one of the cheapest systems to collect for. Number 8 is Attack of the Time Lord. If you've played space shooters before, you know what you need to do. Due to the way the enemies are chained together, you'll need to carefully time your shots. As the rounds progress, the enemies start using additional types of weapons, including ones that hit the ground and travel horizontally toward you. Also between the rounds, the Time Lord himself makes a brief appearance. If you happen to own the voice module, he trash talks you during those appearances. It's a fun little game with a lot of flavor. Number 7 is Quest for the Rings. This is half board game and half video game. I own it, but have not learned how to play it. From what I understand, you need to find 10 rings, and once you do, you win the game. There are 2 modes of play. One involves using all the physical pieces you see here, and there's also an arcade mode that does not involve all the accessories. The Odyssey 2 had a handful of games that had these kind of accessories, but this one is considered the best of them. Number 6 is UFO. In some areas of the world, this is known as satellite attack. It's essentially a version of asteroids. The manual describes all the enemies you see as UFOs. Some move aimlessly through space, and others seek you out. Another type actually looks like a UFO, shoots at you. You have a force field up when you're not firing, and there's a dot on that force field that you can rotate slowly to shoot in a specific direction. People enjoy it because it's simple arcade fun. Number 5 is Atlantis. People who have played the Atari 2600 are probably aware of the version of Atlantis for that system. Graphically, this one is a step down, but the core gameplay is still intact. You use 2 cannons to defend the city structures from the enemy ships that are descending. It's all about timing your shots. If one of those ships gets low enough, it'll destroy one of the structures. When they are all gone, it's game over. It is fun, simple gameplay. Number 4 is Killer Bees. You play as a swarm of bees, and you need to kill the bots who are running around. Once you kill them, they turn into tombstones, which disrupts the playfield. There are enemy bees that come out, and the longer the round goes on, the more aggressive they become. When they touch you, your swarm becomes smaller, which affects your ability to kill the bots. You also have a zapper that can be used sometimes, which will kill the enemy bees. This is a unique concept for a game, and it's exclusive to the Odyssey 2. And as a bonus, the voice module does this before you start the game. Number 3 is Casey's Crazy Chase. This is a mashup of Pac-Man and Centipede, which is an idea that cannot fail. You need to eat the caterpillar without touching its head. When you eat a segment, you can stun the other enemies. There are different mazes, and there is an option to build your own maze. It is just a crazy maze game, and it may be reason enough to own an Odyssey 2.
Run! Watch out! Incredible.
Number 2 is Pickaxe Pete. There are not that many platformers on the Odyssey 2. Actually, this might be the only one, but this is a very enjoyable mix of gameplay elements. Whoops, I forgot to put the flash warning on the screen. The enemies are boulders that bounce around in a complex way. You need to survive until a key appears. When you get it, you need to jump through one of the doors, and then you begin the process over again. You have many abilities to help you survive, like ducking, sliding, horizontal jumps, and a cool looking vertical dive. Of course, you also have the pickaxe, but it can only be used a number of times. And now we get to see what most people believe is the best game on the Odyssey 2, and that is Casey Munchkin. I think most of you have heard the story behind this game, but in a nutshell, it was pulled from the market for being too similar to Pac-Man. It is still a very common game because a lot of people were motivated to purchase it. Yes, it plays like Pac-Man, but it has some interesting differences. The dots move, which completely changes the gameplay. The mazes are irregular in design, and there are parts of them that move. Game variations allow you to choose different mazes, play invisible mazes, and even design your own maze. There are also antennae on the player and the ghosts, which makes them look cute. Most people would agree that this is a more playable game than the 2600 version of Pac-Man. I have many more top 10 lists on this channel. I'm cranking them out like crazy now, so be sure to check out some of those, and thank you for watching.